With the 11th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
They traded for Paul George tonight, and they are sending to Oklahoma City outstanding rookie point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari for Paul George.
SGA, another tough drive, and the bank. What a drive, SGA! Another and one.
Gilgeous-Alexander will go to midcourt from 45.
Bingo!
It's no secret, guys, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just ridiculously talented. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might have been a little bit forgotten about this season after suffering some minor injuries. However, when healthy, he's one of the best young stars in this league on a rebuilding team. So in today's video, we're going to cover some of the traits that make Shai so scary good in this league at such a young age. To start this video off, we've got to clarify, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a solid shooting touch. However, he has struggled mightily when shooting the basketball this season and is averaging career lows almost across the board. A lot of that is due to opposing teams focusing a lot more defensive pressure onto him, but outside of the horrible shooting slump that he's currently in, Shai is actually a really good shooter.
And a turnover. SGA got it up, is it good, and he banked it in! At the buzzer, and right now,
SGA knocks it down! Wow!
Now, he's not near the level that guys like Steph Curry or Dame Lillard are, but he's improved in those areas over time, especially when it comes to the three-point shot. Although, it's a bit of a toss-up at the moment due to the numbers not being incredibly good. To put the amount of defensive pressure he receives into perspective, he gets double-teamed the fourth most out of anybody else in the league per game right now.
Aaron scores off the glass. Just a spectacular move. Where the Thunder defense has just been a completely different story since about midway through the third quarter. What a drive, SGA! Another and one!
Now, let's get on to some reasons that he's so scary good. One of them has to be his ability to go one-on-one with defenders.
SGA trying to pull out the big man. Spins free, nice move, and what a finish inside.
Even with his minor shooting slump, he can basically take anybody on individually and somehow find a way to pick up a bucket for his team. For example, Gilgeous-Alexander ranks second in the league when it comes to isolations per game in the NBA this season.
Got hand in his face as well.
SGA, another tough drive.
Shai loves to go one-on-one with his opponent and use his crafty handles to generate space and drive to the cup. While he may be moving into a bit of an off-the-ball role now that Josh Giddey is taking over point guard responsibilities, Shai could have more opportunities to get easy shots instead of working so hard in ISO all the time.
So the Grizzlies lead growing here in the fourth quarter. SGA.
Don't worry about a potential alpha dog situation either here, as Shai is certainly a team player. He even said, "I know to be one of the best teams in the league, which we want to be very soon, you've got to have multiple guys who can play on the ball." And like that quote says, if you want to be good in this league, working well with coaches and teammates is a must, and that's what we've listed as his next trait here.
Now drives hard on Jones. Beautiful pass.
Playmaking and selflessness are something that Gilgeous-Alexander has in his arsenal. It may come as a bit of a surprise given the number of isolation plays that he runs, but he's actually 22nd in the league when it comes to assists per game this year.
For a recycled shot clock. Oh, slip pass!
He's averaged 5.6 a contest when he's been healthy for his team as the point guard. He's taking on a lot of defensive pressure like we talked about earlier, and as the season goes on, he's starting to easily pass out of those double teams. While it often means that he gets the ball forced out of his hands, he is making the smart plays and creating so many open shots for his teammates on offense. He also only averages 2.6 turnovers a game, which is crazy impressive for somebody who's that ball dominant, who gets double teamed this much and is still just 23 years old. Even in the pick and roll, Shai knew exactly what he was doing at a young age. Last season, Shai averaged 2.4 assists per game on just the pick and roll alone. He also passed out of drives 48.4% of the time to keep the opposing team constantly guessing about what his next move was going to be. And speaking of that, he's got such a diverse set of moves when he decides to attack the rim, which is surprising considering how old he is. Gilgeous-Alexander thrives at getting past his defenders and driving towards the rim with the goal of creating contact.
track-wise, or you just might have the group that you want to go with.
SGA plays through the contact, counted and a foul.
On all 2-point attempts this season for the Thunder, Shai has converted on 50.3% of them. He's also converted on 80.5% of his free throw attempts that he's taken. His free throw numbers are already pretty high, and that's a direct consequence of his driving ability.
3.2.
Yeah, absolutely.
On that 20-point second quarter, biggest output that he had in the quarter in his career. SGA!
He was 18th in the league in terms of free throws attempted back in 2019, and now he's moved up to 11th place this year despite missing quite a lot of games due to injury. Going back to his first year with the Thunder, Shai led the league in drives per game at 25.2. Not only that, but he was scoring on a very large chunk of them, averaging 13.1 points on 55.4% shooting on those attacks to the basket.
Point guard, he was just amazing with the basketball.
SGA got caught in the air. Fortunate that Gallo was in the vicinity. Oh!
Now, before we move on to his next trait, make sure to take a moment and smash that subscribe button. While you're down there, make sure to hit that notification bell and leave a like too so that you'll never miss out on another one of our videos. Otherwise, Shai might come around and dominate your favorite team soon, so you don't want that. Anyways, let's get right back into it. Defense and length are the next trait that we're going to talk about here regarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai is listed at 6'5" inches, but he's got a wingspan that stretches out 6 feet 11 inches. This length allows him to guard practically anybody in the league out on the perimeter. While he would obviously struggle down low in the paint due to his wiry frame, he's got quick feet and long arms to poke the ball away and can be an overall hassle defensively.
A good job of flipping the script, though, in that painted area. Oh, how about that steal there by Shai? Well, he just picked the pocket.
The Oklahoma City Thunder general manager Sam Presti already came out at the end of last season and said that he believes a giant defensive leap will be the thing that catapults Shai into the category of superstar in the NBA. And given how young he is, Shai is still well ahead of schedule and improving every week. Heck, he already averages over a steal per game this season, and he's always causing havoc out there on the defensive end. Plus, you really don't get to see lead ball handlers kind of set themselves apart defensively like Shai is trying to do. Gilgeous-Alexander has a fairly high usage rate, but most strong defenders don't pass the 15 mark, and in the rare case of Ben Simmons, the 20 mark. If he just keeps on improving like he plans to, then he would be in a category of his own very soon. And now we gotta talk about his work ethic too, because at the end of the day, it's the true reason for him taking such a dramatic leap in his development. Another young player on this roster, Darius Bazley, spoke out about Shai's leadership. He said, "He leads us on and off the court. His work ethic is impeccable, whether on the field, in the weight room. No matter what decisions he makes, it's always with the goal of improving himself and the team." Head coach Mark Dagnall also said he walks the walk with his work ethic and his humility. You don't just get to see these types of responses from fellow coaches and teammates by doing nothing. Shai clearly works his tail off when the cameras aren't on to keep on getting stronger and better in the areas that he isn't all too good in right now. Overall, Shai still has a lot of work left to do if he's going to transform into one of the league's top stars, but he isn't all too scared of the work that he's got to put in to get to where he wants to be either. He said he's just trying to become a better overall all-around player.
No timeouts, the ball is inbounded to Shai. Temple did not foul. Shai on the step back.
His head coach said, "Every time you give that guy time in the offseason, he comes back better, and he's proven that time and time again." The Thunder coaching staff and all of Shai's teammates have a tremendous amount of faith in him right now, and it's clear to see why. Gilgeous-Alexander is a scary good talent in this league, and it's frightening to think about how great he's going to be when he puts a little more work in throughout these next couple years.
Tribute finds Shai. Shai steps back on the three. On the way!
He might very well be the next great Thunder player in franchise history, but that might be incredibly premature to say right now. Still, he's definitely a player I don't recommend forgetting about anytime soon. And that about does it for this video on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If you enjoyed it, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen now to keep watching.